Once upon a time, two little dwarves wanted to chop down a section of bamboo. First, they struck the bamboo with a knife. Then, they prepared a saw and chopped again at a 45-degree angle right below the knife mark. This created a narrow, slender notch. The two dwarves continued to chop in this manner, and soon a large gap appeared in the bamboo. After completing their preparations, the dwarves charged at the bamboo and leaped into the air, kicking it with all their might. But it had no effect. If one person couldn't do it, then two together surely could. And so, they kicked and kicked until the bamboo finally fell. They couldn't carry the heavy bamboo back home, so they decided to roll it. Eventually, they managed to push the bamboo all the way back to their house. It turned out that they had decided to make a natural hot spring pool. Next, they used chisels to split the bamboo tube in half. They then arranged a pile of stones, heated them with fire, and placed the bamboo tube on top. As night fell, the stones in the fire had turned bright red. They used tongs to pick up a stone and placed it into the bamboo tube, which had just been filled with water. Immediately, a burst of hot bubbles surged up, and soon the entire bamboo tube began to emit steam. And just like that, a handmade natural hot spring was completed. Although the dwarves were small in stature, the other animals were of normal size. However, they all lived in harmony. The raccoon became the shop owner, the frog became the host, and the weasel was the repairman. If you ever got thirsty in the wild, you might even come across a squirrel selling drinks. The two dwarves had to cross a very long meadow every time they went home. They had built a treehouse in the forest. One day, they had just bought a cabinet from town, but it was too big to fit through the door, so they had to leave it outside. As the dwarves were still complaining, a grasshopper suddenly knocked on the window. A piece of news caught the dwarves' attention. The legendary mythical beast had appeared. It was said that if you saw it at dawn, you could have one wish granted. So they packed their bags and decided to go up the mountain together to find the mythical beast. But as soon as they stepped out of their house, they encountered two beetles. They sat on the beetles and drank vegetable soup as they made their way to the top of the mountain. By the time night fell, they had finally reached the summit. The peanut they had brought in their bag was their dinner for the night. They admired the beautiful starry sky while waiting for the mythical beast to appear, but they didn't see it for several days. Just as they were about to eat their last bit of food and leave, a huge bird suddenly appeared behind them. It turned out that the mythical beast had been attracted by the vegetable soup. Flapping its wings, it carried the two dwarves up into the sky, flying toward the light of dawn.